Hi, I'm Cody from Duo Security, now part of Cisco. In this video, I am going to provide an overview of Duo Trust Monitor and explain how to set up a risk profile and triage security events. Trust Monitor is a risk detection feature that surfaces valuable and actionable security events to Duo administrators. Trust Monitor is available to Duo Access and Duo Beyond customers. The documentation for Trust Monitor is available at duo.com/docs/trust-monitor. Duo Trust Monitor creates a baseline of normal user and device access behavior by analyzing and modeling Duo authentication data. This baseline is established by evaluating variables like user, device, location, time, and application to understand typical access patterns within an organization. Duo scores deviations from this baseline based on their distance from expected behavior. Trust Monitor surfaces highly anomalous access attempts to highlight potentially suspicious activity and aid in investigations around compromised credentials. Visibility into abnormal access attempts enables Duo administrators to detect suspicious activity and tighten access policies. Trust Monitor may leverage up to 180 days worth of historical Duo data to define a baseline. However, organizations don't need this much data for Trust Monitor to be useful. We recommend customers enable the feature after using Duo in their environment for at least 6 weeks. Upon enabling the feature, Duo Trust Monitor will immediately begin evaluating available authentication data and start surfacing security events within 24 to 48 hours. On average, Trust Monitor surfaces 2 events per day. The surfaced events will have the highest anomaly scores of the cohort analyzed. Duo Trust Monitor operates on Duo usage data only and does not currently ingest any third-party data to create models of behavior. Therefore, all data analyzed is currently covered under the Cisco Online Privacy Statement and described in the Cisco Duo Privacy Datasheet, links to which are available in the documentation. Duo Trust Monitor uses a variety of tactics to build out a threat model. The tool evaluates the effect of each component over time and learns which combinations provide the most security value. The following models are present within the feature, just to name a few. Novelty. Novelty is the presence of a new variable in the access attempt. This includes a brand new device or location, or an attempt to access an application for the first time. Rarity. Rarity covers the cases where a variable is not new, but is exceedingly infrequent, such as a variable present in 1% of access attempts. Context. Context looks at relationships between variables. For example, it may be expected that a user use one device in the office, but another device at home. Attack pattern. Known patterns in the world of access security, such as unrealistic geovelocity logins and brute force attacks. Duo Trust Monitor surfaces attempts that fit these patterns. These are just 4 of the risk models utilized by Duo Trust Monitor. Reference the Assessing Risk section of the documentation for more examples. When first setting up Duo Trust Monitor, administrators should designate their organization's risk profile. The risk profile workflow enables administrators to select a prioritized set of Duo-protected applications, user groups, and locations or IPs. It also allows administrators to designate whether they'd like to highlight bypass mode enablement in Duo Trust Monitor. By setting and saving the risk profile, Duo Trust Monitor will weigh security events involving these selections as more important than anomalies that do not include a risk profile designation. Risk profile anomalies appear at the top of the security events board, and they are marked with a yellow shield icon. Hovering over the yellow shield icon explains the connection between the event and the risk profile. Setting the risk profile is only a prioritization measure. It will not stop Duo Trust Monitor from surfacing events outside of the scope of the profile. If an administrator either skips risk profile setup or selects every application, group, and location, Duo Trust Monitor still functions, but the feature will not prioritize any anomalies specifically over others. A Duo administrator with the owner or administrator role can create and edit your risk profile. Log in to the Duo admin panel. In the left sidebar, click Trust Monitor, then click Risk Profile. Click Create Risk Profile. Select the applications you want included in the profile. This typically includes high-value apps. Click the Next button. Select Priority User Groups. Highly credentialed power users, contractors, and users in bypass mode are often selected, but the exact configuration will vary by organizational structure. we recommend selecting 3 to 8 groups. Click the Next button. The next step in the risk profile configuration is setting trusted IPs or selecting risky countries. Typical selections would be countries where your organization does not conduct business nor have any users, meaning an access attempt from those countries would warrant some suspicion. For low-risk IPs, companies may enter corporate network blocks or trusted IP ranges. To reiterate, this tool merely prioritizes anomalies. Events from a trusted network or country can still be surfaced in the Security Events dashboard. Click the Next button to set a preference regarding bypass events. For bypass events, designate whether you would like to see the enablement of a user's bypass status by an administrator in your Security Events board. Click Next. Review your application, group, location, IP selections, and bypass selections. If you need to make corrections, you can use the Back To buttons to revisit each of the selection steps. When you are ready to implement the risk profile, click Apply Selections. Once you apply the new risk profile, Duo Trust Monitor starts prioritizing events based on your selections and makes them visible on the Security Events board. Your risk profile can be edited at any time via the Risk Profile section in the Admin panel. Duo administrators with the owner or administrator role can triage security events. Read-only admins may review them. Navigate to the Security Events dashboard. In the left sidebar of the Duo Admin panel, click Trust Monitor, then click Security Events. The Security Events dashboard is where you can review the events surfaced by Duo Trust Monitor. A security event is an authentication that surfaced due to its anomaly score and a few other heuristics, such as no successful authentication within the same user session and your risk profile configuration. The top events represent the highest priority event at any given time, based on both anomalistic nature and risk profile weighting. You may not see any security events in the table after creating your risk profile. That means that the majority of your users do not have enough authentications to build accurate modeling. As they continue to use Duo, we will automatically evaluate and begin providing events when the authentications increase. Each event includes a variety of informational content, including the event type, such as authentication. If an event shows a yellow shield icon, it is related to a risk profile designation. Hovering over the shield will show how the event connects to the risk profile, the time and date of the event, the reasons for surfacing the event, shown as red bubbles. When hovering over each bubble, a modal appears describing the statistics behind the cause. For example, in the case of a new access device, the modal will show the recent devices used in access attempts and their relative frequency and highlight the rarity or novelty of the device used in the security event. For a list of potential causes for security events, reference the Security Event Information section of the documentation. Click More Details to learn about an event. You will be brought into the Security Events Details page. This page provides contextual information regarding the event, including a timeline of recent user authentications before and after the surfaced login. Process the new anomalous events by choosing a response, clicking either Mark as Suspicious or Dismiss Event from the Security Events dashboard or from the details of an individual event. Click Mark as Suspicious to process security events. This opens the Mark as Suspicious authentication form. The optional feedback you provide here helps the Duo Trust Monitor team improve the model over time. There is also an area where you can leave comments regarding the event, especially in cases where you or another Duo administrator connected with the user regarding the access attempt. When finished entering your feedback and comments, click Send to Process to move the event into the Process tab on the Security Events dashboard. Processed event details and comments can be reviewed here in the future. Note that at this point, Duo Trust Monitor is a self-contained tool, and there is no automated workflow to remediate an event outside of the Duo Admin panel. Within the Security Events dashboard or the Security Event Details page, you can dismiss an event. Click Dismiss Event to respond to benign or unsuspicious access events surfaced by Duo Trust Monitor. This removes the event from the Security Events board. When you dismiss an event, you are able to provide feedback as to why the event is being dismissed, which will help the Duo Trust Monitor team improve the model going forward. Dismissing an event helps the Duo Trust Monitor team improve the model's precision by adapting the model's understanding of what constitutes normal behavior for a user. To learn more about the Duo Trust Monitor, visit duo.com/docs/trust-monitor.